Hello, my name is Alex Davidson. I'm with the Hobby Quest, and I'm going to be showing you your magic box. This is your toolbox that you're going to be using throughout the magic classes. So in here, we have a couple of different things. It's very important that we make sure that the kids understand that you are the only one that goes into this box, mostly because if the kids grab stuff out of here, it'll get unorganized, things will get all over the place. It's very important to keep this as organized as possible. So first thing we're going to find in here is a box full of child safety scissors. So these scissors are used for, like, if the kids are using cards, if they have to cut a card in half or have to cut a piece of paper for one of the tricks, anything like that, we can find all the scissors in here. So that's our first box. Our second box is a set of glue sticks and school glue. This is just the Elmer's glue, and this is going to be, if they have to glue anything together, put something into another thing. We can use this to repair something if necessary. So this is the glue that we're going to use with the kids with a lot of the tricks, because a lot of the tricks require us to assemble stuff. So next, we have our set of markers. And this is just, ordinary set of markers. You want to make sure that the kids understand, if they ever get the markers, when you're handing it out, they all have a cap on it. It's very important that you make sure that every single one of them has a cap on it when it comes back, or else you're going to lose a lot of markers. So that's our third box. Our fourth one is full of a lot of miscellaneous things that we're going to need. This includes pens, if the kids need to write anything down. It includes a screwdriver, which is used for some of the tricks that we have in our curriculum. We have our tape. This is just standard Scotch tape. This is used for a couple of the tricks, along with our double-sided tape. Double-sided tape being very important for helping to hold things together, like if you have a piece of paper, it's rolling together. We have the double-sided tape for that. And then, last but not least, we have our permanent marker, which I would try to avoid giving to the kids. This is just for the instructor, because the kids could accidentally take this out, put it on the table, and now you have a marking on the table, and that's almost impossible to get off. So make sure that you are the only one that touches this. So that's everything in that box. And the last one we have here is a set of cards. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of decks of cards here. Now, what this is for is that we have a lot of tricks that involve cards. Many tricks have to do with cards, and the thing is, we don't want to have to hand out a deck of cards every single time we do a trick that involves cards. That would end up sending kids home with like 5 decks of cards at the end of the whole magic curriculum thing, and that would be just too much. So instead, the first time we do a card trick with them, we would generally hand out a deck of cards, and you tell them they have to be very careful with those cards, because those cards will be used for other tricks later on in the classes. So when they've taken those home and they no longer have their own deck of cards, now if we do anything with cards, we're going to use these, and the kids are going to hand them back to you at the end of the class, because when they get home, they would have their own cards to use with that. So these are instructor cards that you will use for practice, but the kids never take these home. You give them out, they practice with it, and then they give it back. So that pretty much covers it for the toolbox. As you'll see, we have a big empty space here. This is a really great place to store your magic tricks. It's really good that, by the end of the whole magic class and everything, we put our trick in there so that we have our own batch of these tricks. So at the magic show, at the very last class, if anyone forgot their tricks, or if it broke or anything like that, we can say, yes, that is fine. It's okay if you accidentally forgot your tricks at home, because I have my tricks here. So it's very important to keep that nicely organized as the class is going on, because you're going to need that on the last day of class. So something additional to note about our magic case here is that it's true that a lot of the tricks that we use don't require these parts. There are many things that don't need any gluing, they don't need any scissors, they don't need any markers. But it's very important to carry this case with us every single time we go to the class, because oftentimes magicians carry their giant box of tricks and stuff, and this is how we want the kids to identify us. They see this big box and they go, that's the magician. And that's really important that they identify that. Not only that, but at the end of every class, we really want to put our trick into this part of the box. And if you don't carry it with you, you might accidentally forget to put it there, and then by the time you're at the last class, you won't have it. So always carry this with you, even if you don't need it. It doesn't matter whether you need it or not. The kids need to see you with this box, and that kind of helps define you as the magician. So that's really important, and we can't stress that enough, that this box goes with the magician everywhere they go.